Hi there. We have a special intro for the next couple of episodes. We just went live on Instagram a couple of days ago, so check us out, see what we're currently up to. Our Instagram posts are going to be based on current happenings. As you know, our YouTube episodes are based on the previous season of our outdoor adventures. So what you're seeing now in 2020 is actually our 2019 season. So keep checking us out on Instagram. You'll get a sneak peek into next season's outdoor undertakings. Watch for our new logo with our follow us on Instagram posting. You'll start seeing it in a couple of episodes. In trapping, when looking for sign, it is necessary to be proficient in the discipline of decoding the significance of tracks and trails. This is not simply an acquired talent. A trapper should consider this a dedicated duty to gain a functional knowledge of tracks and trails. To the trapper that can read the signs in the outdoors, nature can become an extensive bounty.
You can see we're still in the learning curve here. Third year trapper. So our first year out, I always say set on sign. If you're not setting on sign, you're just putting steel out there. You're wasting your time. So this is sign. It's good sign. I mean, obviously the muskrats and other critters are using the heck out of this trail. So we did our first year, and it was a little bit more than frustrating. You know, there's people out here, it's public land, so you don't want to sit right up here. You want to be respectful. So we pick an obvious spot down in an area like this, and put a 120 body grip or a 160 body grip. And the best we would do is maybe once in 3 weeks, after leaving it for 3 weeks, we'd get a mink, or possibly a muskrat crossing over, because most of them go around on land. For some reason it's different in water. They won't go around, they'll go right through your trap. So part of the learning curve, our first year we put a lot of sets on trails like this, and to us it just wasn't worth it. I mean, if you got time and you're retired like Lee and you can check traps every day and everything, great, you know, you're not wasting your time. But for us, it wasn't very efficient for us, is all.
So we stumbled across this. We spotted this mound, and over here came down and spotted a coyote track in here, right there, and digging in there. And we looked back here, and John spotted, I knew the hole was there, but John spotted the frost above it. Like something's in there breathing, and it's frost in the top of the hole. A detailed understanding of an animal's habit and habitat that the trapper's hunting will allow the trapper to use the sign to expand upon what the clues are telling him. Tracking sign will provide a series of clues to the trapper that'll lead him to his final conclusion. And John was theorizing possibly a fox.
Or mink.
Or a mink.
A mink will take down a duck. There's duck feathers.
Oh, that's right, there were duck feathers here too. I forgot about that.
Mink will take down a duck. And a mink's got a lot better access to a duck than a fox does.
Yeah. So look at the frost. So again, look for sign, guys. Look for sign. Well, like John was telling me here as we're walking along, you know, you got to be looking for sign. And here's some scat, and if you can look, there's actually some fish scales in it. So what do you think that is, John?
That's definitely an otter.
Otter?
Definitely an otter. Nothing else with fish scales in it.
So, and I mean, look how easy that'd be to miss, you know? Just look at this. You're looking, and all of a sudden, bingo. Keep your eyes peeled, guys. So here's an example of a muskrat hut. They pile up the cattails Almost looks like a beaver hut, as John was explaining, but they use the cattails.
There's really no runs. You'd have clearer ice somewheres where they're
right here maybe
going in and out. All the bubbles are far away from it, and something burrowed in from the top. So I think this one's been abandoned. Pretty sure they would close that up. Coyotes will get in here and they'll try and get at them before they get underneath the water. You'll see, gosh, last year on the North Shore over there, almost every one had been raided by coyotes, and they'll just dig out a big chunk out of the sidewall of that thing, try and get at them muskrats. And then they move on. They move off into bank dens and other dens. They don't try and repair it then after that.
Okay, go ahead.
So, out here in the marsh, and we're just learning this too, but obviously the muskrats have pushed up cattails and mud and everything else. And this looks bigger. It looks like it could be a muskrat hut, but it's not. I mean, you got a solid tree underneath there. What they'll do is they'll push up mud and cattails just to have a resting. It's a feeder platform, basically, is all it is. They'll make a nice, comfortable place to pull up out of the water and eat and rest. So, kind of looks like a muskrat hut, but it's not. It's just a feeder.
When looking for beaver sign, the trapper rarely sees the tracks of the beaver. In this first picture, the smaller print on the left is the right front foot of the beaver. The larger one is the right rear foot of the beaver, and you can notice the webbing that helps it swim. In this second picture of the beaver tracks, it shows how the animal plants its feet as near as possible under the center of his body. Thus, the rear foot overlaps the front foot, making this odd-looking print. But cut willows or tree stumps are at least a more easily distinguished indication of their presence. Another indicator is called the slide. This is the area that the beaver enters and exits the water. Slides are easy to spot as all vegetation growth is gone. The ramp, if in current use, has a muddy, wet-looking appearance. Here, the beaver has gnawed this up. Look how high this is off the ground.
They'll pull it down.
I don't know if it's going to show up on the camera. I can see it better than the camera showing me. But you can see the lines in here from the teeth of the beaver. So when I first walked down, it almost looked like somebody came in here and cut those to use on a set or something. But you get a close look and you can see that the beaver gnawed it off. And then John spotted across the way here, you can see a slide going up right out here, coming up. I don't know if that's good. You can actually see the trail a little bit here going. So again, you're looking for sign on where to set traps. This would be an area, and that looks fresh. Hey, that can't be that old.
A couple weeks. It's actually a couple weeks.
Is it really?
We only know that because we've been watching it.
Okay.
Jim found them when they were just a couple days old or a day or two old.
Okay. Here. Oh yeah.
Look right here. There's a whole bunch of them here. Yeah, that's where his 330 was. He piled them up there.
Right there. All the way down here.
These shoots here, with how orange they are, you can tell if they're maybe a day or two old. Not much more than that. Just as they get older, even by a week, they start turning white. Those are fresh. There's still beaver in here.
It's got to be too much to walk out here every night. And he wasn't catching. He wasn't producing. So all that sign. He had a caster on set there and still just...
Yeah, look at that. You can see the chews over here. All along there. To become skilled at this technique requires constant vigilance while working the trap line. This difficult yet essential part of trapping cannot be mastered from books. It's always a matter of being outdoors. The trapper, by exploring the signs, will develop a knowledge in the animal's behavior, and in turn, his presence in the outdoors changes into achievements instead of regrets and frustration. Looking for and interpreting the signs could very well be the single most important part of trapping. Well, this ends part 2 of our introduction to trapping. This was not meant to be an in-depth review of the art of trapping and tactics. It was only a little peek into the history of this endeavor and the importance of it in the early history of our country. It also provided a little peek as to the nuances and tactics of trapping and tracking. If you have more interest in trapping, please check out James Pitzel's YouTube channel under James Pitzel, P-I-T-Z-L, and follow his adventures on his trap line. Hi, that's the end of this week's video episode. Hope you enjoyed it. If you like this episode, please click on the like button. Then go ahead and click the subscribe button also if you haven't become a subscriber yet. This way you won't miss any of the future videos that I put out. You'll be notified. Feel free to comment below, or you can also drop us an email at rappantoutdoors360@gmail.com. Looking forward to hearing from you guys, and as always, thanks for watching. See you next time.